Hello there, croeso and welcome. I'm Shadow Lumox and I'm back here on Wreckfest after a good long while due to a disaster that has occurred in the Lumox household. This is going to be an edition of the Shadow Lumox Daily Challenges challenge because the weekly events have basically been the same as they were the last time the snow events were run in the solo tournament, and those videos are already done, so let's do something different. And I recorded this from a while ago, so these daily challenges won't line up with what is currently on offer. I had a industrial dehumidifier and fan running for 3 weeks. So after 3 weeks of literally watching plaster dry, which is as riveting as it sounds, I've decided to jump back in with some Wreckfest shenanigans, and the aim of the game here was to go through all the daily challenges that were on offer, do one run, whatever result I get is the result I get. Normally I can usually do quite well, but in the snow anything goes. It can be really tricky, these events, sometimes even harder than the weekly or seasonal challenges that are on offer at this time of the year. But I'm getting lucky here on the very first event. I got into the first position fairly quickly after the AI made a mess of the opening corner, and as long as you don't drive too slowly, but you can drive a bit cautiously and rely on the AI to be way too aggressive for the conditions. You can see there's a couple there on the inside who have decided to try in the scenic route. Wonder if that'll pay off for them, but I doubt it. There's an AI there who's trying very badly at pointing in the correct direction. And here I go, just feathering the throttle, trying not to be too aggressive, braking with plenty of distance before the corners. It's so easy just to brake way too late. Maybe you're thinking it's still dry and that the snow won't make much of a difference, but it makes a massive difference. As we bomb down here to the corner, I don't get right, I don't think, for any of the 4 laps of this race. It's going to be an easy ride to the finish. So we'll speed things up now and get ourselves through to the end of this event, as I just comfortably stay out in first. Just got to avoid some of the lapped cars here that are trying to make their way back onto the track, and see from the mini map in the bottom left that I've got a big enough lead. And for the last time in this event I mess up that corner, but it doesn't really slow you down. In fact, it actually helped me a bit, I think, because to try and take it properly would mean going a lot slower. We crossed the line here for a good first place to start with, but the reason I kept these videos was it wasn't so straightforward from then on. So we jump into the big rigs here, and against other big rigs it's just carnage in the snow. I try to force my way up here. I'm trying to get to the inside, easily get stuck into a traffic jam, and this is not what I wanted. Someone's got me pinned on the back corner and it's trying to spin me out. Managed to recover it, but I've lost a number of places after what looked like was going to be a promising start. It's only 2 laps here as well. The laps are pretty long, but you don't get much chance to recover if you fall too far back. Get nice and aggressive here at this corner. It's always good to get aggressive with the AI, but gone in a bit too hot, lost the run out of the corner, and any places I made I got to give back up and again get forced out to the outside. But there's a few other AI trucks here that have also seen a sticky end, but that's just held me up even more. Now I'm in 8th, got clear road ahead of me, and I've got about a lap and a half at most. Not even that, as this is the home stretch straight coming up. So I've got one lap to get myself back into at least 6th position with 9th hot on my tail. I've got to go nice and aggressive, carry not too much speed, because if you carry too much speed when you try and wall ride like that, you're just going to bounce off and slow down. You want to be going just a bit too fast for the corner and let the barrier then just guide you around the rest of the way. Made up some nice time down this stretch, and I've got to remember I can go aggressive into this corner as far as braking, but don't want to go too much, so I hit the barrier on the outside. I want to be able to accelerate out of the corner so then I can compete down into this next right-hander. Always tricky here, much tighter than you think it is, pretty much comes out of nowhere. I send it down the inside, send everyone else into the outside, into the trees, and I've managed to get myself up into 3rd position, with 2nd and 1st just ahead as we're coming now into what is the final corner leading us onto the straight. Go nice and deep in so I can cut back to the inside, try and drive off the corner, but it's just not enough to get myself 1st position, but a good recovery there, back to 2nd for a silver trophy. On to the 3rd event, which was a race with the Bugzilla. Not sure what I was going to get, and I got a race against a bunch of piggies. Thinking, oh, this is going to be nice and easy. The Bugzilla's just going to stomp all over these things, and it's just going to be seeing how many I can wreck. But very quickly, the pigs are telling me that they're not going to play nice, and they spit me out and drop me pretty much to the back of the field with the other little piggies that got done wrong. My recovery starts poorly by driving into the barrier, not a top tier tactic, let me tell you, but we start to make our way forward. I am in the Bugzilla, so anything stationary that I come across is going to meet a very bad end. I am not going to come off 2nd best in those sort of collisions. So you want to be aggressive in this car, but be wary. It's easy to build up a lot of speed very quickly. Got to brake early, as you must for all the cars in the snow. It's just the way it needs to happen. So I'm now got myself firmly up to the front of the field, but the cars in front take that little left a bit better than I do. I send it in hard into that hairpin, but miss pretty much at all my targets. But fortunately, the AI gets the exit wrong. Able then to force 1st out to the side and get myself 1st position for the time being. Got 3 laps to go. It's a 5-lap race, not a long track, but still, it's a lot that can go wrong. You can come across the other AI as they having an equally bad time of going through this track easily enough. And as we come up to one here, a wrecked car, which strangely means it has strange indestructible powers once it has been destroyed, and I get pinned there to the outside, allowing the AI to catch back up. I find myself back in 2nd, hunting down 1st again. I'm not quite close enough to pull off the same move by forcing them out into that barrier, as the car's coming back and littered along the track, but I'm able to send it up to the inside here. A lapped car trying to get involved in this fight just for the fun of it, as another car is reversing across the track, which is not the way to go. But I managed to get myself up to 1st. I'm going to brake for this corner, but managed to get it just about right. You want to tiptoe your way around in this car. Still a bit too deep in there, allowing the AI to come back again, but get the old switcheroo as I get through there. Managed to wreck a lapped car and force another one off into the barrier and off into the side of the track. Still getting trouble. Not even sure if these are lapped cars anymore or if it's actually 2nd place fighting me. That, though, lets me know it is 2nd place when I move back down. decide to drive into the invincible tyres. They're the only invincible tyres you'll come across in Wreckfest. I want to give myself a bit of challenge for this final lap, but don't want to get too desperate. Easy to throw yourself off the course and behind that barrier. Want to be able to catch up and hope that the AI makes a mistake as they just carry too much speed into that hairpin and spin themselves around. So now I've just got to bring it home. I can see on the mini-map that there is someone just behind me, but I'm still not 100% certain whether it is my quarry in second place or whether it's just a lapped car joining in the fun. I don't risk it and I go home for the first. First I didn't think was going to be so easy, but after being dropped down to about 18th on the first lap, but I managed to get it in the end. And we finish off with a destruction derby in the snow. And this is pure. There's a lot of luck involved with getting a good score on these events. I know what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to build up that multiplier that you can see just at the top center of the screen. As that builds up, I can start, when I start wrecking people, I'll be getting big points, and you can easily get the 10,000 points roughly that it is to get gold. I think it's 7,000 for this event, but it'll always be around the 10,000 mark that they expect. And early doors, you want to be just driving around, driving into people's doors, getting little shunts, getting little hits. It all leads to potential wrecking assists as well, which can save your bacon, or well, save your multiplier. And it'll happen plenty of times where you're driving around in situations such as this. As you can see, that once the multiplier starts going down, it goes down fast. Normally what I try and do is I try to reset myself, but it means it depends on where you spawn in when you reset, which will always be the same place, but then where is the carnage taking place? You want it to be close to that spawn point, otherwise there's no point in doing those resets. So on some of the bigger maps, it's sometimes better to just stick with the group, trying to get a little hit, try to keep the multiplier up. I've already lost it. If I lose it again, chances are I won't be able to get this gold, and at this point that's exactly what I'm thinking. I've played enough of these events, that's sort of how it goes. But if I can get a good run now, get this multiplier up, get a lot of wrecks as well, maybe gold is still there. Again, lost the multiplier again, only a minute to go, and I'm currently at bronze. Still need 4,500 for the silver. Gold is looking firmly out of reach, so it's just a case of causing as much chaos as I can. I see someone spin out there hoping to get a good hit, which I do. Guides me into my next target. Want to be quite decisive with your target selection, but at the same time, a bit of luck. So it's always good to go with what's available, and there we go with the silver. But the score is still going up, and gold is just within reach. Only just under 1,000 points to go, and there we have it. The final little bit of carnage that takes me into the gold. It looked like it wasn't going to happen a few times. A couple of times the multiplier disappeared, but just got to keep going. And this is why I said there's a bit of luck. Sometimes it could take a few goes to get gold. A few goes is something I don't give myself when I do these challenges. And there we go. I hope that was a good return. I hope you enjoyed what you saw. And I just want to say diolch and thank you for watching.